Hi Marisol, how are you?
Yes, fine.
Can you tell me, how did you become interested in art?
Well, as long as I can remember as a child, I was interested. I used to draw, and people used to admire my little drawings.
Uh-huh.
And then I would always win the prize in all the schools for
Really?
being the best artist.
I see. So for example, when you did drawings, it looked a lot like the people that you were drawing, you know. Why do you think you won all those prizes?
Oh, they liked my work in different schools.
I see.
Oh, they were mostly, I would copy things.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Like what?
From children, fairy tales, from children's books.
Mm-hmm. So it was something that you always wanted to do, is that right?
Yeah.
I see. And did you formally study art?
Oh, yes, I went to schools in Los Angeles, Otis, and then two others, I don't remember the names. I studied with Rico Lebron, for instance.
Oh, really?
And then we went to Paris for a year, and I studied at École des Beaux-Arts and La Grande Chaumière. I don't know why I always had several schools. And then I came to New York, and I went to the Art Students League.
Uh-huh.
And from there, I studied with Hans Hofmann for several years.
And how did you get to Hans Hofmann School?
Oh, there was a student at the Art Students League who recommended him.
And what was it like to study with Hans Hofmann? And what did you learn from Hans Hofmann, do you think?
Oh, I learned a lot about space, for instance, because before I would draw like a little figure in the middle of the page.
Right.
And he made us fill up the whole page and go beyond it.
I see.
So we thought about space all over.
I see. So that's a very modern idea, thinking about the total picture as opposed to just the isolated object.
Yeah. And then it went beyond the page,
Uh-huh.
the drawing, imaginary lines.
I see. And do you feel that that's in some of your early work, that kind of thought and those kind of ideas?
Oh, yeah.
Can you give me an example where that happens?
Maybe the bathers.
Uh-huh. I see. Okay. How did the bathers come about?
Well, you know that I don't remember why I did the bathers. It's too long ago. The image.
I see. When was that done about? Do you have an idea?
Like 1962.
So this was shortly after you had studied with Hofmann, right?
Yeah. No, it must be much later.
I see. Did you study in Provincetown with him too?
Oh, yes, I spent one summer there also.
I see. I see. Okay. Well, Hans Hofmann is obviously an artist who is primarily abstract. Do you feel that your work is abstract?
Well, maybe also, because we always had at his school, there was a model posing in the same way, and he taught us how to make an abstraction out of this model.
And do you feel that that is in your work?
Maybe I haven't thought of it.
I see. You know, your faces and your figures tend to be rather recognizable and believable and realistic. How do you do that?
Oh, they're recognizable?
Yes.
Oh, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Okay.
Oh, I believe in magic, like things just appear.
Okay, that's good.
No, it's like the other day I was thinking about this friend of mine that I knew, but I haven't heard from him in years.
Right,
And I got a letter from him.
right. Just like that.
Yes, I like when things like that happen. Or I'm thinking about somebody and then they call me.
Uh-huh.
It probably happens to everybody, but they don't pay attention.
Yes,
It's like magic.
I see.
And I think our art is that way.
It is that way.
If your spirit is free, then everything comes to you.